You're standing in the candy aisle. The shelves are glowing with colors: reds, greens, yellows, purples. Shiny gummies shaped like bears and worms. Marshmallows soft as clouds, jelly beans like little jewels. You grab a bag. It's cheap, it's sweet, it's familiar. But here's the question: do you actually know what you're eating? Before we unwrap the truth, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. Here on Discovery 4K, we reveal the untold stories behind the products we use every day, from the science to the secrets no brand wants you to hear. Let's take a deep dive into the world of candy. From gummy bears to candied fruit, what's really inside that innocent-looking snack? Let's start with the most iconic, gummy candy. It's chewy, it's fun, and it's made with something that might surprise you: gelatin, a substance derived from animal bones, skins, and connective tissues. Yes, those adorable gummy bears? They owe their bounciness to collagen extracted from pigs and cows, processed at high temperatures into a protein gel. According to the Gelatin Manufacturers Institute of America, in 2021 alone, Americans consumed over 60,000 tons of gelatin, much of it through candy like gummies, marshmallows, and pudding. For some, this is an example of zero waste, using leftover parts of animals in creative ways. For others, especially vegetarians, vegans, or people with religious dietary restrictions, it raises uncomfortable questions. Shouldn't something so widely consumed be clearly labeled? Now let's go inside the factory. The gummy making process starts with mixing key ingredients: sugar, corn syrup, water, flavorings, food coloring, and gelatin. The mixture is heated until it becomes thick and syrupy. And then it's time to shape it. But here's something that surprises a lot of people. Gummies aren't poured into plastic or metal molds. Instead, most factories still use starch molds, trays filled with cornstarch, pressed with impressions using a stamp. Why? Cornstarch can withstand high heat without warping. It absorbs excess moisture, helping the candy set faster. And best of all, it's reusable, making it cost-efficient and surprisingly sustainable. Once molded, the gummies are cooled at 18 to 24 degrees in a tunnel that avoids temperature shocks, which could cause warping or cracking. But even when cooled, they're sticky. Which brings us to the next step. Ever wonder why gummy candies never stick to each other in the bag? It's thanks to a paper-thin coating, usually made from beeswax, carnauba wax, or vegetable oil. Carnauba, the most common, comes from Brazilian palm leaves. It's edible, colorless, odorless, and makes the candy surface dry, smooth, and visually appealing. In sour or fruit gummies, you might find a coating of crystallized sugar or acid blends instead. This adds a pleasant crunch and intensifies the flavor. And just like that, a sticky blob of syrup becomes a neat, glossy, bite-sized candy. Now let's move on to another sweet favorite, marshmallows. You might think marshmallows are mostly sugar, but here's a fun fact. Marshmallows are actually over 50% air. That's right, you're mostly eating sweetened foam. Here's how it works. 1. Gelatin is soaked in water to bloom. 2. A hot syrup mixture of sugar, corn syrup, and water is heated to 240 degrees Fahrenheit 150 gross. 3. The syrup is slowly poured into the gelatin while being mixed at low speed. 4. Then, the speed increases, 2,000 to 3,500 RPM, whipping in millions of tiny air bubbles. Gelatin acts like a structural net, trapping the air. The result? That soft, fluffy texture we all know. Once whipped, the marshmallow is spread into trays, cooled, cut, and dusted with powdered sugar, mixed with cornstarch to keep it from sticking. And just like that, a few simple ingredients and a lot of air create one of the most iconic sweets in the world. Let's talk about jelly beans, the little candies that sparkle with color. Many people call them fruit candies. But here's the truth. There's no fruit in jelly beans. The inside, mostly sugar, corn syrup, gelatin, and starch. It's bland, chewy, and almost flavorless. The real taste comes from the outside, a shell built layer by layer in rotating drums. Each bean receives 20 to 30 coats of syrup mixed with color and flavor. Between each coat, the candy must dry, a process that takes 4 to 6 days. Once the shell is built, it's polished with a thin layer of beeswax, giving it that porcelain-like shine. Then comes the branding. Logos or symbols are laser printed onto each bean, the final fingerprint of the product. It's funny, really. You're not eating a candy with a coating. You're eating a coating with a candy center. At first glance, candied fruit seems healthier. It has fruit in the name, after all. But once you know the process, you may feel differently. The fruit, often pineapple, citrus peel, cherries, ginger, is blanched in boiling water, soaked in sugar syrup for up to 10 days, with sugar concentration gradually increased to 75%, dried at 50 to 60 degrees Celsius until moisture is below 15%. This isn't preservation, it's transformation. The fruit loses most of its vitamins, fiber, and acidity. What's left is the shape of a fruit, packed with sugar and shelf-stable for months. Technically, it's fruit, but nutritionally, it's candy wearing a fruit costume. Now that we've seen how these treats are made, let's zoom out and ask, who makes them? Most of these candies are manufactured in large-scale factories across the globe, many in developing countries. Despite advances in automation, many steps still rely on human labor. Quality checks, tray loading, spreading, cutting, shaping, polishing. These jobs are often repetitive, underpaid, and rarely recognized by the brands whose names appear on the packaging. So every time you eat a candy, you're tasting not just sweetness, but a complex web of global labor and logistics. Let's talk labels. In the US, ingredients like red 40, yellow 5, blue 1 are allowed in candy. But in Europe, the same colors may carry warning labels, especially for products aimed at children. Some countries even ban certain food dyes linked to hyperactivity. Why the difference? It's partly about scientific thresholds, and partly about cultural attitudes toward risk and transparency. And then there's gelatin, a non-vegetarian, non-halal ingredient that's still not always clearly labeled. Shouldn't people know what they're eating? So let's recap. Gummy candies are made from animal byproducts, marshmallows are mostly air, jelly beans are sugar shells with barely any center. Candied fruits lose most of their nutrition through heavy processing. Each treat carries technology, history, and controversy in every bite. And yet, we still eat them. Why? Because they're nostalgic, because they taste good, because marketing works. But here's the deeper question. If the truth about candy doesn't change how it tastes, should it change how we feel about it? Next time you reach for a gummy bear, a jelly bean, or a marshmallow, pause. Think about what it took to get that candy into your hand. The chemistry, the engineering, the labor. And yes, the hidden parts no one talks about. If you found this breakdown fascinating, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more videos from Discovery 4K. We're here to uncover the truth behind the ordinary, because nothing is ever as simple as it looks. See you in the next video.